When you meet someone at any kind of social gathering, whether it's at church or whether it's at a picnic, the first thing that you start with someone is, what do you do? Meaning, where do you work?
You know, the only way you get a good job is if you have some basic preparation to do that job, and too often people with disabilities don't.
Unfortunately, sometimes they go to work study type things that are not effective. They're just holding places. They don't have that opportunity to develop that pride and to make that living and to say, look what I can do.
Project Life is serving students with intellectual disabilities, autism spectrum disorders, and other disabilities that can be a real barrier to integrated community employment.
Folks are very eager to work. Everyone wants to go and get a job. So a lot of the time it's just finding that employer just to open the door.
Project Life was created to be a building block. They come out of high school, they spend some time with us and build those prerequisite skills, and then most of them move on to Project Search.
We've recognized that part of the issue is that as good as Project Search might be, there weren't many programs that were preparing young people with the skills needed even to come into Project Search.
And that's what Project Life is doing. They're looking at a multi-year investment to be able to help those students say at the end of their time when they get a job, they can answer that question, what do you do, where do you work?
Project Search program has some of the highest employment rates for Project Search nationally, and we believe that that's due to the Project Life program itself.
It allows them an additional option, gives them additional skills, and it allows them to focus in on those skills before moving into the world of work or into their adult life.
So our two main goals with Project Life is obviously employment, and then we also want to build the independent living skills.
Project Life is designed to be more flexible, and we are able to focus on the transition goals for students, the employability, their independent living, their social communication goals.
Most of the tasks that we teach our interns, people do take for granted. It's as simple as remembering to bring in carts when the cart corral is full, making sure trash is picked up so that your store doesn't look dirty.
And then we also work quite a bit on personal financial literacy skills, which every young adult needs to know. We talk about savings accounts and checkings accounts, credit cards and going into debt. We talk about how to write a check and how to balance your checkbook and keep your statements accurate.
Instead of a 1 year and out kind of program, they give us a tiered program, 1, 2, even 3 years of possible collaboration around a student, gathering data so that we can focus in on those strengths and we can build up those weaknesses a little bit, allowing us to bring all that together and to have a true focus on work. That allows us to then get those great results.
I think that's one thing that sets us apart is we have the data to show how they're doing in the classroom and with the curriculum, but also how they're doing on the job sites.
The data helps. It supports what the individuals are doing throughout the program. Does everyone get huge high percentages? No, but they grow, and that's the goal.
We have a report that we do every single week, and then there's IEP goals that we work on every single day that we track as well. But it's really important to have all of that so that we can show the progress to the intern, to their parents and family, to all the job sites as well, that we are making a difference.
The difference that we see between someone who's had a Project Life program and someone who hasn't, it's kind of twofold. They are definitely more mature, and they have a better idea of the skills that will be required and their interest in those skills moving forward. They're much better prepared to step into a full-time immersion experience and be successful.
I know that from interns that I've worked with, the job sites that the interns here that I work with currently go to, they revolutionized those work sites. There are work sites that currently say, I want to hire them. When would they be available to hire?
And I think what we found with the Project Life experience is that these were people that were maybe more capable than what we had seen from other individuals in the past. Multitude of skill sets, and really in talking with the group that is behind Project Life, we work with them to find out what each individual's interest is in addition to their skill set, because we want them to come in and do something that they want to do.
They exceeded our expectations from day one. They came in, we show everybody how to do the job safely, and they just excelled at it. You can't even describe how great they did just walking into a situation where they didn't even know what to do, getting the hour-and-a-half training and then coming back the next day and just doing the job the way it was supposed to be done.
I think other schools should have Project Life because it helps kids with disabilities and it helps them to become independent and learn skills that they need later on.
I feel independent because I can take what sometimes I need help, but some I actually try myself before I ask for help. I want to see how my skills is to doing independent by myself without asking for help.
I do Project Life, and I do like math and money. Budget makes me happy and proud.
Project Life 201 has been a good year. I've been learning about independent living. Where I've learned about how to look interested in an interview and how to practice applications and interview speaking.
When we started Project Life the first day at orientation, I remember Michelle Baumgartner, standing up there saying, parents, you are going to see an amazing transformation in your kids. They're going to become independent. They're going to be wearing their uniform. They're going to be packing their own lunches. They're going to be getting up on their own. And okay, we'll see. And guess what? It happened. I was surprised. To this day, I just have to smile.
The biggest difference that we saw when Cameron started with Project Life and then ultimately through Project Search with Butler Tech was his confidence. He started speaking and looking people in the eye, standing a little bit taller and having that confidence in himself that wasn't included in a classroom. He's actually out into the world.
Project Life and Project Search has made a significant impact. I look at what would have happened at graduation without those two things, and there weren't very many options. So without Project Life, without those 2 years of building those skills, we wouldn't have been able to do this, and I'm just really grateful for it because of the growth that we've seen and because of the opportunities now that are open, you know, in terms of we're looking at full-time employment in a couple months.
Project Life is doable. You need an energetic instructor, one who really appreciates the value of our course of study and can think outside the box. We don't have to be the typical educator anymore where we teach from a textbook. We can create, we can design. Every day is a teachable moment.
The great thing is we started that, our package that we've put together is a collection of 12 years of work that brings it all together, that allows you to, you're not starting from scratch. The Project Life brings that to you right now.
Now we're probably serving 50 to 60 students a year, every year, and they are moving out into the community, and many of them are moving out into jobs, and that is so vital. But look what we have done for them personally. These students, in their growth, in their confidence, in their being able to look at themselves and say, look what I can do. That is so vital, and an employer is looking for that.
So if you're sitting in Alaska, New York, California, and you're thinking, we want to do something, it all starts with a thought and a desire to help. And so if you're sitting there thinking, I want to do this, it's a little bit too much work, it's not. The end result is well worth it because that's what we get into this for.
It's important to start the conversation because so many people don't know it's out there. And I know some people that they graduate high school and they just sit at home, and there's so much out there for interns, future interns, and we need to have more of conversations so parents are more aware and they don't feel like there's nothing for their child once they graduate.
Every community is stronger when every person is engaged, and at least 10% of every community are people with disabilities. You don't want to exclude 10% of every community or more. And so they need preparation, they need work, they need attention, they need research, they need teaching, and they need to be able to get out in the community, and that's what Project Life does.